of a better way to kick off AAPI Heritage Month than by honoring these women here today. So let's do one more round of applause for them, please. So I want to go ahead and get this program started, and here to provide a terrific, warm welcome from the West Wing, I'd like to welcome the Chief of Staff to the First Lady and Executive Director of the White House Council on Women and Girls, Tina Chen.
Well, thank you, Gautam, and welcome to the White House. We are delighted to have everyone here, and delighted really to be able to kick off May for AAPI Heritage Month with this event, because there is, nothing more important, I will say, than honoring the women in our communities, and especially the women who are the backbone and the leadership for so many of our communities, and especially for the AAPI community. So I am delighted as not only to bring you the greetings of my boss, the First Lady, but also my other boss, the president. I have the really wonderful honor of being both the First Lady's Chief of Staff, but also the Executive Director of the White House Council on Women and Girls. And one of the things the President really has done is to make sure that in everything that we do here in this administration, we are incorporating and making sure that we are investing in women and girls, no matter what we do. And it's something that he really feels, something he learned from his mother, from his grandmother, something he learns every day in his household, as he will remind us all, living in a household full of strong women, but especially with respect to our community. I sometimes like to say, when I'm talking about the President and the AAPI community, that as a first generation born in the U.S. Chinese American, the President has actually spent more time in an Asian country than I have. So being an Asian, American, he's really part of our community in a very special way, and in a way in which no other president has been. So I'm really so proud to be part of this administration, and so proud today to welcome all of you, who are really leaders in the community, who are out there doing the work every day with your constituents, with your clients, with your friends, your neighbors, students, everyone who you are in touch with. You are how the work of this administration, the values that we care about so much in this administration, really moves forward in our community. So thank you, and I want one more round of applause for our champions of change. Before I leave, I just want to recognize a couple of people. First, I'm so delighted to have with us here today Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, please stand. For those of you who don't know, I met Tulsi on the campaign trail. Tulsi is from Hawaii, where when she got to the general election, it was she could actually spend time in Virginia because she didn't need to spend it in Hawaii. But with the Asian American community in Northern Virginia, she and I went campaigning together. She is a veteran. She is a woman who is really leading the way in Congress. We're so delighted that you are here with us today and that you are in Congress and doing that amazing work. I have to also recognize Karen Ahuja. Where's Karen? Yeah. Karen, I know everybody in this room knows Karen, because Karen really is the Executive Director of probably the most active White House commission that there is, the White House Initiative on Asian American Pacific Islanders. It is, she has been an amazing leader, has really made that initiative be so incredibly successful in what it has accomplished and what it continues to do in its outreach between the administration and our communities across the country. And you are just doing such a great job. So thank you. And I, finally just want to thank Mary Frances Oneha, who, really brought this wonderful lay for me, matched, sort of happily matched colored. But Mary Frances, for my concluding remarks, she's active, and you'll hear more about it in the healthcare space. And I just wanted to leave, and I know you're going to get a panel and some discussion further on healthcare, but it is so important to our community. It is the thing here in the administration as we are in 2013, the year that leads up to the January January 1st, 2014 effective date of the Affordable Care Act. That this is something, if you take one thing away from you today to go back to your communities, it is how important the Affordable Care Act is as an achievement for all of our communities, especially our community. How key it is for all of us to be ambassadors to our communities about the benefits that people are already receiving. I happen to have a 24-year-old son who's on my health care plan because of the Affordable Care Act. Any one of a number of things like that where people are already getting that coverage. And then how important it will be for our community to step up and sign up and be a part and participate in those benefits that go forward. It's a big challenge. It's a huge change. We haven't had a social program change like this in several generations. So I want to really enlist all of you in the work, and you'll hear more from Gautam and from everybody else about how to move forward with Affordable Care Act implementation. But in the meantime, you have great champions of change to hear from this afternoon. I also have to, on a parochial basis, say congratulations to our Chicago champions of change, and Nancy Tom and her family who's here from Chicago. So, you know, Chicagoans, we're very proud of Nancy always, but we're really so proud of all of you. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Congratulations. And we will look forward to doing lots more work together this month for AAPI month, but in all the months to come. Thank you.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get our program started. I'm going to ask the folks standing, go ahead and please take your seats. And a couple quick housekeeping notes. One, just so you know, as you've probably seen on the screen here, you're welcome to tweet along. That's for folks, both for folks who are sitting here in the audience and folks watching live at whitehouse.gov/live. So all those hashtags and Twitter handles are up there on the screen. Now, you heard Tina mention and give a shout out to Karen Ahuja, who's the Executive Director of the White House Initiative on AAPIs, who is yet another champion for change here in the administration. So I'd like to bring Karen up to say a few words about the initiative.
I hear the one yay in the audience. I know that's coming from my staff. Welcome, everyone. We had really a wonderful opportunity, a really intimate setting just a few minutes ago with our champions of change, and talking about how proud we are of them, how privileged we are to have them here to start off Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. One thing I didn't mention to them is I'm actually a little bit jealous. Because I was an Asian American leader in the women's movement for 5-6 years before moving into this space. I wish Champions of Change existed during that time, because I know it's just a special space to be in, but I think they also represent, I feel they represent me, they represent all of us and the work that we do, and certainly we could not recognize, I believe, the more than 500-600 nominations we received for this Champions of Change, the most I think we've received. You know, Gautam may have a better sense of those numbers, but really an overwhelming response. So I think that's a real testament to the work that's happening in the community, and a real testament to these individuals who are here. I just wanted to share a little bit with you about the White House Initiative on Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. It was created by the President soon after he came into office. It's a very important initiative that focuses on the welfare and quality of life of underserved Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. I always talk about when the President signed the executive order that mandates a number of federal agencies across the federal government to work on these issues, that no community should be invisible to its government. And we take that mandate very seriously, opening the doors of the federal government to so many members in our community who don't know about the work we do, have limited access, where their issues need to be front and center in the work that we're doing, from language access to data disaggregation, from the work we did with the Vietnamese fishermen in the Gulf Coast following the BP oil spill, to the work we now do with nail salon workers and some of the challenges they face. We do really a broad range of work on one of the broadest initiatives in the federal government, and I'm so proud to be a part of it, and also to have a wonderful commission that is meeting at this very moment. Talk about multiple events happening this week, meeting at this very moment for their official commission meeting at the Melrose Hotel. So after this, if you'd like to continue, after the reception, you're welcome to join us for the tail end of that public meeting. the work I do could not be possible without wonderful staff, and I do want to recognize a few folks that are here in the audience and just ask them to stand up, because I do want you to basically, approach them afterwards, ask your questions about the initiative. So I'd love to recognize Courtney, Julie, and Seema, and Jason in the back. If you guys could stand so people can see who you are. And you'll also get to meet a wonderful array of federal officials who are also affiliated with the initiative. We also say we always say, once you're with the initiative, you never leave, even if you try. We have our dear colleague Seema, who's pregnant, and that's the only way she got out of it, was that she'll have a baby pretty soon. I just want to end with. We all have our personal stories of why we do what we do and why this work means so much to us. And I know we're going to hear from these wonderful speakers, but, I just came from Savannah with an Indian wedding. I felt that was like the perfect way to start Asian American Heritage Month. My cultural experience, 3 days of singing, dancing, and lots of eating. But, I spent a lot of time with my mom, and she's really the inspiration for me. I mean, she's not kind of this official title of an advocate, but that's what she's been all her life. And I think, that was a model for me, seeing her do, work in the community, not only in the Indian American community, but in the African American community in the inner city of Savannah, Georgia. And she was really my inspiration. So I think, I want to not only really acknowledge ourselves and the leaders here, but also there's so many young people in the audience right now that we have, that we wanted to make a point of bringing young folks here, because that is a part of passing on the torch. And continuing this work, and it's not really just about us, but so many people that we have influenced along the way. So again, I want to thank you so much for being here, and a very special round of applause for Gautam, because he has been the mastermind behind this, and he doesn't take a lot of credit, but let's really give him a great round of applause. When Gautam came up with this idea, I felt like, what, I should have thought of this idea, But really, he's laid out this, amazing, an array of events, and has really, I think, exposed our community to so many opportunities here in the White House. You have a real advocate here in Gautam, so I just wanted to publicly acknowledge his great efforts. So with that, you're not here to listen to me. We're here to listen to these wonderful leaders, and so thank you so much for being here.
So why don't we go ahead and get our first panel started. Mina, come on up. To moderate this panel and to moderate the other two panels, we decided we'd show off our own AAPI Women Champions of Change in the Administration. So first up is Mina Bond, who is a Special Assistant at the Small Business Administration, who will moderate this panel. We're going to keep these moving very quickly. This is just a taste of each of these champions. Hopefully you'll get to meet them a little bit afterwards at the reception. And if you do have questions, we do have mics at both ends. So think about what your questions are and please keep them brief. All right, Mina, on to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gautam. I'm so happy to be here to help kick off the first panel, Breaking Barriers and Breaking Bamboo Ceilings. For those that may not know, the bamboo ceiling is obviously a play on the glass ceiling, and the glass ceiling is often a term that women use to refer to the fact that at a certain point it gets really difficult to ascend higher in their career. And so oftentimes for Asian Americans, we face a bamboo ceiling because of whatever stereotypes that we have as the AAPI community to go to the next level in our career. And here we have a wonderful panel of women who've not only been able to tackle the bamboo ceiling, but have been able to break through it and pave the way for other people to follow. So instead of me going through all their bios, and which I'm sure you've already read, I just wanted to take a moment to let each one of them introduce themselves, and then I'll quickly ask some questions, and hopefully we'll have some time to have questions from the audience, because I know many of you have traveled a long way to be here, and I'm sure you want to engage with these panelists. So to kick it off, we have Nancy Tom here. So Nancy, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Nancy Tom. I would first like to thank President Obama and his administration, Valerie Jarrett and Tina Chen, for honoring me today as the Champion of Change. I would also like to congratulate all the awardees. I was born and raised in Chicago, and I grew up in an all-white neighborhood. My parents immigrated from China and were naturalized citizens. I have 2 brothers and a sister. As children, all of us were encouraged to excel at everything we did, to work very hard, to be silent and humble, and to fit into American society as soon as possible. If we did this, we would be able to fit into society and have a chance, only a chance, to get an application for a job. According to my mother, our parents' job was to work hard and to make money to send all of us to the best schools they could and to help us get started in life. I have always felt comfortable and excelled in anything that was creative. Fortunately, our parents let us go into whatever field we wanted. My focus has always been in the creative area since I was a child. Fast forward to 1997, and that was the founding of the Center for Asian Arts and Media at Columbia College in Chicago, which is the largest art college in the United States. I founded the center so Asian Americans, the local art community, and the general public could better understand the historical and contemporary contributions by Asian Americans to art, history, and culture. Thinking out of the box, the center presented not only visual art, but music, performance, lecture, films, and more as part of outreach efforts. The center is so unique that it's still the only center in the United States at a college. The center is not as active today since I am retired, but I firmly believe it is important for young generations to remember their past, for the past informs the future. Therefore, I am in the process of reactivating it with my next project, which will be to look at the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. So stay tuned. I'm not really going to retire. But before I conclude, I would just like to take 1 minute to say I'm representing, this honor does not belong to me alone, but it is for all the generations before me who aren't here anymore, all the warriors and the hard work and men and women, all warriors. They deserve this honor too, and they should not be forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. And next I want to introduce Natalie Nakase.
Hi. Before I start, I just was mentioning to these women before, this feels like a dream. I have my family out here supporting me, and I just can't believe it's happening. My name is Natalie Nakase. I'm a 5'2" Japanese-American woman who wants to be a coach in the NBA. I want to... That's funny. I get that. Thank you. I want to represent the idea that the most unattainable goals can be achieved. Since I was a little girl, my personality has always been to take the tougher route. I enjoy taking on impossible challenges and never want to do something easy. The way I see it, the more difficult, the better. And what really added fuel to my fire? Anytime someone doubted that I could reach a goal. Come to think of it, I should actually thank all those who doubted me along the way. And there has been many. For example, a club basketball coach once told me I would never play at UCLA, which was my dream school. He said I should accept a scholarship to a lesser program because I would never make it on the Bruins squad. I ended up starting for UCLA for 3 seasons, earning all conference honors and becoming one of the school's all-time assist leaders. After college, I played professionally both in the U.S. and overseas. Then I became the first female assistant in a professional men's league in Japan under former coach NBA Bob Hill. The next year, my second in Japan, I became the first female head coach in a professional men's league. I'm currently working for the Los Angeles Clippers as an intern video coordinator. a job where I can observe and learn firsthand in the practices, coaches' meetings, and film sessions. I believe head coach Vinny Del Negro, along with the entire staff, Bobby Osipka, Robert Pack, Mark Averoni, Dave Severance, Howard Isley, Raman Spasato, and Bob Tate are some of the hardest working coaches in the NBA. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity that they have given me. It's a perfect start. I was selected as a champion of change because I'm creating the opportunity for women to coach men at the professional level. Men coach women at the professional level. Why can't the roles be reversed? Thank you. I want women to believe that the opportunity is there. I believe it takes a lot of courage to do something our society hasn't seen before. The reason why I can continue to make my dreams a reality is because of support and love from my family. My two older sisters, Nori and Nicola, my mom, my dad, have always encouraged me to try, and if I failed, they would be right there to pick me up. My father has ingrained in me that hard work will always pay off. I want women to believe that whatever they want in life, they can get. I want them to believe if you work extremely hard at it, you commit yourself to it, you maintain a desperate, obsessive focus, and work, it's keep going, and work hours and hours until you feel like you're about to die, you'll get your goal, because I'm living proof of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie, and go Bruins. So the next person that I want to, you know where my alma mater is now. So the next person I want to introduce is Ton-Quinlivan.
Thank you. So my name is Ton-Quinlivan, and I'm honored to be on this distinguished panel here. I would consider myself a late bloomer in terms of being a change agent, and my journey to thought leadership took multiple steps. Prior to my current role, I was head of workforce development for a company, energy and utility company of 20,000 men and women, where I took the company from having very limited opinion on workforce development to being a nationally recognized best practice in the industry. So currently, my role is Vice Chancellor for Workforce and Economic Development of the California Community College system. It is a system of 112 community colleges. It's the largest higher education system in the country. As you know, the nation has issued a call to action to close the skills gap between what employers need in terms of skills and the skills that the workers have. And I see the community colleges as playing a vital role in answering that call to action. So my leadership focus with the community colleges is doing what matters for jobs and economy, doing what matters for jobs and the economy. Now you may ask, why do I care? And it is also because I am first generation. My family and I escaped from the Vietnam War and came to the United States. And because education was open to me, I work hard in order to make it available for others as well. Thank you very much.